Today, we are talking about the skills you gain as a fitness professional, I almost said aerobics instructor. So I've been doing all this research and it caused me to think aerobics. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But today we're talking about the skills that you gain as a fitness professional, a fitness instructor, or a personal trainer, and how those skills translate into becoming a really stellar entrepreneur. So recently I was thinking about this because I was thinking about celebrities that got their start as fitness instructors. I was reading Amy Schumer's book. And I love Amy Schumer. And I know Amy Schumer can be a little bit political, and sometimes people are divided on whether or not they love her. But she's near and dear to my heart because she's a comedian. She started as a kickboxing instructor. Kickboxing was my jam for a really, really long time. And I'm going to tell you guys a little secret about me. I was the class clown. I don't know if you could have guessed that about me, but I was the class clown in my senior yearbook. And yeah, so now here I am. And I've been an instructor for almost 30 years, 27 years. So Amy Schumer started as a fitness instructor. She taught kickboxing for a really long time to fund her career in stand-up comedy. Marie Forleo, who is, a lot of you guys are in, I know some of you guys are in her business school. She is a really big business speaker. She wrote the book called Everything is Figure-Outable. She speaks a lot on entrepreneurship and business, and she has a business school called B School. It's specifically for women entrepreneurs. It's similar to what we do in the Virtual Studio Business Accelerator, except what we do in the Accelerator is very specific to fitness instructors and personal trainers who are going out on their own. So it's very instructor and it's very fitness industry focused, and it's very solopreneur focused. So Marie Forleo, of course, people who have a dance background. So people like J-Lo and Jerry Halliwell came from being fitness instructors. Pamela Anderson was a fitness instructor when she was discovered. So she was working as a fitness instructor and planning to continue working as a fitness instructor. And she was discovered at like a football game. And then she came and was on Baywatch. Connie Britton. A lot of us love Connie Britton. She's on Nashville, and she still stays fit. Savannah Guthrie. I love Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show. Started out as a fitness instructor, still has an active fitness practice. And Mel Robbins, who is a huge mindset coach. If you don't follow her, she really does some great stuff. She's a great one to follow on Instagram and on YouTube. All right. Also, people like Richard Simmons, who of course made their career in fitness, started as fitness instructors, made their careers in fitness. But I bring him up because he's such a cool example of what's possible, right? Not only was he a fitness instructor, but he differentiated himself in such a cool way by saying, hey, anybody can move. Get up and move with me and let's do this. And that's something that's so needed. And we have such an opportunity, every single one of us, to do right now because of where the fitness industry has gone, where the big boxes are marketing and spending their marketing dollars. We have such a cool opportunity to come in kind of in the back door and go straight to consumers and help to move the needle in a different way, like Richard Simmons did, right? There's no more Richard Simmons. He is not actively out there doing any kind of marketing of his classes. And Marie is here. And I know Richard was her mentor and he got her in the fitness industry. Such a cool story. Marie's actually in one of his videos. And I love thinking about him. And I love thinking about you guys working together, Marie. It's so cool. Okay, so I was thinking about celebrities that got their start in the fitness industry, and it really got me thinking about the skills that we learn as fitness professionals and how those translate into having a career that spans fitness, but also beyond, that allows us to become entrepreneurs and make a nice living and a true, following. So I want to talk about those today. Ooh, Totally Tonin. Marie was in Totally Tonin. I've got a screenshot of that somewhere that you sent me. I love it. Okay, so before I start into today's lesson, let me just intro what we are doing here and who I am. In case you don't know, this is the Fit Pros Show. This is the show I made for us as instructors and personal trainers to connect us to fitness industry resources, to business building resources, and to each other. So that's what we do here. We talk about fitness, business building, and I'm Kelly Coulter. I've been a fitness instructor since 1994. I also had a career in web development because I was one of those fitness instructors who worked outside of the fitness industry in order to fund their career in the fitness industry. So I started doing websites in 1999, had a big career in web development. In 2014, I went out on my own. I created a 6-figure website agency completely from scratch without any outside investments. And then last year when COVID hit, I started training fitness instructors and personal trainers on how to go online and make an income direct to consumer outside of the facility. So I teach instructors and trainers how to build a profitable fitness business, serving the clients that they want to serve, and creating a business that's fun to run, because it's really important to me that you guys are enjoying what you build. I believe that you build a business that is fun to run by having fun with it every day. Otherwise, you get to the end where it's a success and you're miserable because it's been miserable to build, right? Okay, so just a few other items. You guys may have noticed I changed the name of our group this week. So it was called Fit Pros Connect, hosted by Kelly Coulter. I love that name. That is the name of my business, but it didn't speak to what we do there anymore. And so I changed it. It's called Grow Your Fitness Business. I'm hoping that will help other fitness industry entrepreneurs find us so that they can get the great information that I give to you guys every day. And I would love for you to share it with your contacts, your friends, your other entrepreneurs that you work with. So we changed the name. Did you guys love it? Give me the comments. I want to hear. Did you notice at all that I did that? And did you think it was cool? I was pretty excited about it, but it was kind of an impulse thing. I didn't announce it. I just kind of did it. All right. So I want to hear in the comments how you guys felt about that, if you even noticed it. So the other thing I wanted to let you know is that I'm going to be doing the Grow Your Group workshop again soon for you guys. I'm thinking it's going to be right at the beginning of June, probably like right that first couple of days in June. I'm going to charge $100 for it. It's going to be a 2-hour workshop. I've got a lot of new information I want to add to what we've done before. So it will be recorded. If you can't make it live, you'll get the recording, you'll get the workbook, you'll get all the stuff. Of course, if you're in my accelerator, you will get that for free, because my accelerators never pay for any other workshops. You get everything I do for free. So we're going to do the Grow Your Group workshop soon. You guys, if you are interested in that, that is the workshop where I'm going to be telling you very specific techniques for getting your following bigger, right? Your ecosystem that we talk about a lot in the boot camp and in other places. How do you grow your ecosystem so that you can make offers to your ecosystem and draw from that ecosystem? And that's where I teach you all the very specific techniques that are working for Fit Pros right now. All right. So if you are interested in getting the information when I open registration for that, go ahead and comment here, because Lonnie will keep track of that and she'll help me to make sure that you get that information. Also, recently, you may have seen a post that I put in the group for people who have a product that they want to get in front of fitness instructors and personal trainers. So I'm speaking right now specifically to business owners who have a product that they're marketing to the fitness industry. if that is you, go ahead and give it me a yes, fitness industry vendor right here. Go ahead and put it in the comments, because I'm going to start emailing some information out this week about an opportunity for you to get in front of the group. So what we're going to do is, in the next few weeks, we're going to do a referral contest, and I'm going to let you guys invite your friends into the group. And the person who refers the most people into the group will win a package of these products that these vendors want to get in front of us. So the vendors, I'm gonna send out the information, and the vendors will sign up and they'll say, yes, I want to give something away during this giveaway. And then they will come on each day. It'll be one vendor, and the vendors will come on and say, this is my company. This is what we do. This is what we are offering in the giveaway. Here's how we help instructors and personal trainers. And then at the end of the contest, we're going to have this whole suite of things, right? It should be worth like a couple $1,000. And the person who refers the most new members into the group will win that entire package. So you guys will be getting information emailed to you if you have signed up in that vendor list. And if you haven't signed up, just put in the comments that you do have a product that you would like to offer, and then we will make sure that you get put onto that email list. Okay, and then that's the last announcement that I have. So let's get started talking about these valuable skills. You guys, I want to hear from you. What do you think is the biggest skill that you have learned from being a Fit Pro, from being an instructor or a personal trainer? What's the biggest skill that you've learned that translates into entrepreneurship? I've got a few listed here that I want to talk through, and then I want to hear from you. So I want to kind of let you add into this conversation as we're talking. So the first one that I've got here, I've delineated them into two categories. And if you're taking notes, you might want to like put one at the top and one in the middle. So the first one is leadership, right? You learn leadership as a fitness instructor or as a personal trainer. You learn all kinds of communication skills and different ways to influence behavior. That's leadership. The second one, and you can put this kind of halfway down your page if you're taking notes, is the performance skills that are inherent in being a fitness professional, right? Because you have to get out there and you have to perform. So let's first talk about leadership. So the first one that I've listed here is public speaking. Really obvious, right? But also not so obvious, because we don't always give ourselves credit for having these skills. And that's why I thought it was really important to do this talk, because you may know that you have it on some level, but you may not always really give yourself credit for it. So, and I'll give you a great example of that. I worked my way through college as a fitness instructor. So, on top of being a fitness instructor, I also DJ'd weddings. So that means that every hour that I was not in school, I was wearing a head mic or I had a microphone in my hand. I literally worked my way through college with a microphone in my hand. And then when I left college and I started doing websites, I did not give myself credit at all for the fact that I had just spent years honing this professional public speaking skill set, right? And I didn't do it again for years and years. Then I started speaking at conferences once the websites got really big and people were asking me to speak. But the point being that people will say to me sometimes, how are you so poised when Bad Doggy's going nuts in the background, or when you have to speak from some weird location because you got caught in traffic or whatever? And the answer is that I have been a fitness instructor for 27 years. I can get in front of people and I can talk and I can have a microphone up in my face and I feel okay about it. That is not something to be taken lightly, because the number one fear that people have in this universe is public speaking. And you guys get out there and do that every day. It means that you are already super prepared to get out to the world with a message and deliver it. Make sense? I would love to hear what you have to say about that. How do you feel about public speaking, knowing that you do it every single day and maybe haven't even given yourself credit for it? I know there are a lot of times when I have gone out and I would teach a master class and I would have people looking to me, it was a class full of other instructors looking to me to do all the right things and give them something new and fun. And I could do that without stuttering, without one bit of hesitation. But the minute I had to stand up and lecture on something where I felt like I wanted them to feel like I knew what I was talking about, then I'm stuttering for like 10 minutes because I never gave myself credit for the fact that I knew what I was talking about and that I knew how to do public speaking. So another skill set within that leadership bucket would be diplomacy. You know how to bring together all of these people. Some of us have taught to 50, 75, 200 people on a regular basis. Those are all people that are showing up for one reason, maybe two reasons. They like you, they like the format, right? They were available at that time. But they, as a crowd of people, have nothing in common. They don't have to have anything in common in order to show up to your class. And you are able to get in front of them and teach an effective workout that is also a super positive experience. That is a skill. That is diplomacy. That is being able to speak to all kinds of people without offending anyone, without making anyone mad. It's not something everybody can do. So it's an important skill, and I want you to give yourself credit. It's an important communication skill. It's an important leadership skill. Similarly, you have learned the art of persuasion. You know how to tell people to do something, sometimes without words. And you know how to tell them what not to do without saying, don't do blah, 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 right? One of the biggest skills that I ever learned, especially when teaching step aerobics, was that I should never say don't. Because I learned that when I said something like, don't let your heel hang off the back of the step, there were still 500 other wrong things that they could do with their heel. And each member of the class is going to find one of them, right? So you always have to speak in do terms. Put your heel on the step, right? Totally different it's a totally different vernacular, but it's something you learn as an instructor. And I'm sure you guys have all learned the same thing. I love this. So Marie's saying from my boot camp, she learned to jump in and teach classes online. Yeah, and the skills that we have learned for teaching online is a whole different ballgame. And I didn't even list any of those here, but we might talk through those in just a minute. Oh, my first live talk, I was so nervous it cracks me up that I can jump in and exercise for an hour, but 5 minutes of talking completely freaked out. So those of you who are building brands online, you know already what I'm talking about, because I recommend that you go on and you teach a weekly live talk to your ecosystem, whether that talk is about nutrition or whether it's about how to not put your heel on the step when you're doing step aerobics, or how to put your heel on the step. Whatever it is, I recommend that you go on and you nurture this ecosystem by doing some kind of personable talk where you can give them some information and give them a quick win. And it's hard to do because you're used to teaching and you can jump up and do that at a moment's notice. But it's so much harder to then just communicate like a human being. The other piece of that we don't talk about a ton, but the other piece is that we are kind of the rock stars when I do have this in here, so I'll save it. But just keep that in mind that there's a difference between being the rock star and being the person, right? Okay, so the next one, so that is kind of persuasion, right? Learning the vernacular that's involved in getting people to do what you want them to do and not do what you don't want them to do. The other thing that I wrote here under leadership is the ability to communicate to a variety of learning styles within one session. So we talk about this as instructors a lot, and as personal trainers and as small group instructors. The fact that you have to give cues in a lot of different ways. So you're going to go into a yoga class and you're going to say, downward dog, put your hands on the floor, your hips are high, your heels are sinking toward the floor. Then you're going to talk about the way your muscles feel, the way your hands feel on the floor. You might talk about something that looks like downward dog. You have to give the kinesthetic cues as well as the audio cues and the visual cues. And you have to do it all because different people learn differently. And we have all mastered that already. But you guys, that is not something everybody knows. So when I worked in libraries, I did this groundbreaking website for this large library system. And people outside of the library system really loved it. But the librarians, they really didn't love this website. And they couldn't understand why I had done some of the things that I had done in designing this website. And one of the things that they would say a lot of times is, why is it that they can search the catalog this way and it shows them, and they just didn't like the way that it displayed. Now the users liked it because I understood that the users look at it differently than the librarians. And that is what I'm talking about, that we can understand that different people see things differently. All right, so a variety of learning styles. And then we've also learned so many performance-based skills. The first one, y'all, is showing up and doing the work. So I'll give you this example. The last 2 days, I have been feeling really ick. Like I was in bed before I came to give this talk. But we show up and we do the work, right? Regardless of how we're feeling, we always show up. I know when I started being a fitness instructor, one of the reasons I did it is because I knew I would be accountable to my workout. Like I knew that I'm not going to leave 25 people hanging, just like I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the work regardless of how I feel, regardless of the day I had before, regardless of what I have planned for after. I'm going to show up and do the work. It's a really valuable skill set that not everybody understands. And it's something that entrepreneurs really have to have, because there are a lot of times that you are going to need to show up, especially in the beginning when you're doing all of these things that are uncomfortable, that you're doing for the first time, that you're not really sure you're doing right. When you commit, you show up and you do the work. And we know that as fitness professionals, and we have done that and we've practiced that, some of us for 30 years. So very, very valuable. Show up and do the work. So this is the one where I was talking about the rock star. And what I said is this: you are the star of the show, but you are not the point of the show, right? You're not the reason the show exists. We have all learned as fitness instructors that we need to get up, we need to do the work, we need to have the energy, we need to put the face on, and we need to get the job done, right? These people need to leave class feeling their legs a little shaky, feeling all sweaty, and feeling super satisfied and like they had an awesome experience. So you have to get up and be the rock star, but also you're not the point of the workout. This workout is not for you, right? So we show up and we are the rock star because that's what they need. And that is huge for an entrepreneur, especially the kind of businesses that we are building as fitness instructors and personal trainers and small group trainers. Most of us, the vast majority of us, are building a business around ourselves as the brand, right? You are the brand. You are the face of this business. You are the reason people are going to buy in and do the work. They want the access to you. So yes, you are the star, but the point is them, right? This is all for them. And we get that already. We also understand the power of one-to-many. So I'm going to go into a little bit of the social media skills piece and that whole online piece. We have already been showing up for years and serving an entire classroom full of people with just us, right? We know how to give a really valuable experience in the one-to-many model. And we can do that. I'm going to turn this thing off. It's making noises at me. No, I'm not. I can't get to the little do not disturb. Okay, so we know how to show up. We know how to give a good individual experience to each person in the class. That is the one-to-many model. We are better than anybody at that. That translates in huge ways to this idea of building a business around you as the brand, right? Because most likely you are now going to be showing up online. Even if you teach in person, you're going to build your ecosystem to some degree using social media. And you already understand the power of going one-to-many, and you already understand how to do it effectively. So in a lot of ways, you've been in training for this for 30 years. I've been in training for this for 30 years, right? Okay, let me talk about one more. Planning and organization. We know how to put something together for a class full of 25, 50 very different individuals that will serve each of their needs. And we know how to get that planned ahead of time. We know how to make an outline, how to fill that outline, how to lay the meat on the skeleton of that outline, and how to get out there and to teach an effective class. So we understand planning and organization, and that is huge. As entrepreneurs, when we start to market and we've got a campaign, we need to understand the different parts of it, and we need to be able to lay the meat into the skeleton of those parts. When you look at creating a program, maybe you're doing an 8-week program, maybe you are doing a specialized transformational coaching experience where you're leading people through something for 6 months or a year. You understand how to outline the pieces of that and then lay the meat on the outline, because you have been doing that for years and years and years as a fitness instructor. Okay, so those are some of the really key skills that you guys already have, right? And then I see here you guys were listing being more personable and connected, empathy. Yes, 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 absolutely. How many times do people come up to you after class or before class and tell you about their injuries? And sometimes that leads into a discussion of the life problems that they're having or the issues that they're dealing with. We learn so much about these people as people that they come in and trust us with this information. And sometimes we're like, wow, I can't believe you just told me that. Am I right? But the cool thing about that is that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. We know that because we know that as fitness instructors, now that we've been through COVID, we've seen how much of the weight of the fitness industry we have been holding up while making $25 an hour. So we understand that people are buying their gym memberships because of us, and we understand that we can augment what they do in the gym with personal offerings that go deeper and further into their goals and their issues and their stages of life. What we don't learn as fitness instructors and personal trainers, what we don't learn even going into a lot of opportunities further into the fitness industry are like gym management and those sort of things. First, we never learned how to ask for what we were worth. So coronavirus did happen, right? Everybody had complete income stoppage. And now all of a sudden, all of these individuals that were working with you in the one-to-many model are not being served. And they're like, holy shnikes, you're going, I miss my people. My people are going, I miss you. And you started to realize how much the gym industry, the fitness industry relies on us, right? We never asked for our worth because we were the ones that were coming in and saying, I would do it for free. I love it. It's my workout. I'm working out with them, whatever. But now all of a sudden we get it. We get what we are worth. And these skills should really tell you too. All of these skills, these are not things that the average person is willing to do. Public speaking, diplomacy, showing up and doing the work when you're not feeling well, that is not something everybody will do. So we understand our worth now, but we don't know how to ask for it. It's just not a skill that we ever learned. It's not something you learn in your AFA certification, right? We never learned marketing. We never learned business skills. We never learned, accounting, business strategy, the mindset that goes into being an entrepreneur. So those are the things that we are still working on. Those are the things that courses like my boot camp and my accelerator can help you with. And there are other business coaches also working with fitness instructors who will teach you valuable skills. I think Shannon Fable has a workshop coming up. And that's where you can start to learn those business skills. But it's important to recognize that you didn't learn those things going in, and it's okay that that's a gap in your knowledge right now, and you will get it over time. Business skills in general have been lacking in the fitness industry since the beginning of the fitness industry. So think about this. The fitness industry as it stands has really only been around since like the 70s or 80s. I think the 80s is when, you really started to see gyms and every family having a gym membership. They were built on passion. People went out and started gyms because they loved fitness, not because they knew anything about business. So to a large degree, a lot of us just don't have those kinds of business skills that we need in order to build a business. And that's why you see so many of us making big mistakes that are costing us time and costing us money and costing us the impact that we could be making with our following if we knew what we were doing. And it's just a matter of taking time and practice and patience. Okay, so you guys, that is what I have for you. I hope that is really eye-opening for you. I hope that is affirming to you to know that you really do possess this very valuable set of skills. And I want you to take those and really assess, what are you going to do with that going forward? Doing something entrepreneurial with that skill set does not necessarily preclude working also with a facility. There are definitely ways that these things can be a yes and, right? So do what feels good to you, what feels authentic to you, and what feels right to you, but recognize the skills that you have developed in leadership, in performance, in technology. Now that we've all gone online and we know how to teach online, recognize those skills and move forward with confidence because of them. Okay, so you guys, if this has been helpful to you, I want you to make sure that you please leave a like. If you are watching on YouTube right now, I want you to subscribe and I want you to like, and then I want you to hit the bell so that you get the notification every time I come on live. If you are watching in our Facebook page, please make sure that you like this. If you are watching in the Grow Your Fitness Business group, give it a like. The more reactions I get from you guys during this broadcast, the more Facebook recognizes she's doing something valuable. I need to show this to more people. So your reactions actually help more instructors and personal trainers see the show. So it's really important in that way. It's also important because Facebook will show you when I'm live, right? If you're reacting, if you're commenting, and if you're liking, then Facebook knows that you like the show. So it'll show you the show. So make sure that you give me a like. If you're on YouTube, give me a subscribe. I can't wait to get that subscriber number up. Okay, so, and that's what I've got for you guys today. I think we're good. Y'all, I love you so much. I will see you next Tuesday here at the Fit Pro Show.